Thank you so much to everyone who stayed subscribed during my little hiatus. While I was gone, I even gained a few new subscribers, so thank you for all the interest in my content and letting me know that you want to see more of these types of videos. All my videos so far have been related to Greta Gerwig, so I figured for this first one back, I'd stay on theme and discuss her solo directorial debut and one of my favorite movies, Lady Bird. Written and directed by Greta Gerwig, the film follows Christine Lady Bird McPherson throughout her senior year of high school as she comes of age in her hometown of Sacramento, California, all the while dreaming about going to college on the East Coast. Many, including Gerwig herself, have described the film as a, quote, mother-daughter love story, noting that the complex relationship between Lady Bird and her mother Marion in some ways mirrors the relationship that Lady Bird has with her hometown.
I have to get out of Sacramento. It's the Midwest of California. I hate California.
Lady Bird is an ambitious, creative, and energetic teenager, desperate to escape from her boring life and make a new one off in New York City. Her mother, Marion, works hard to provide for her family and make a better life for her kids than she herself had growing up. Lady Bird and Marion, as described by Gerwig, are two sides of the same coin. They clash often because of how similar they are. Both women are ambitious and stubborn, and both are subconsciously desperate for the other's approval. Instances of affection between Lady Bird and Marion are few and far between. But despite this, Lady Bird never seems to question whether or not her mother loves her.
Your mom's hard on you.
Yeah, well, she loves me a lot.
The reason for that lies in the film's central thesis: love is attention. In a conversation with a nun at her Catholic school while discussing her college essay about the hometown that she claims to hate, this idea is verbalized to Lady Bird for the very first time.
You clearly love Sacramento.
I do?
You write about Sacramento so affectionately and with such care.
Well, I was just describing it.
Well, it comes across as love.
Sure. I guess I pay attention.
Don't you think maybe they are the same thing? Love and attention.
Lady Bird loves her hometown the same way she loves her mother, subconsciously, in a way that feels so natural to her that she forgets she's even doing it. We see in the scene directly following this one that she's secure in her mother's love, but what she isn't secure in is her mother's approval.
I wish that you liked me.
Of course I love you.
But do you like me?
She knows she has that unconditional love, but what she really wants is unconditional approval.
I want you to be the very best version of yourself that you can be.
What if this is the best version?
To some, it may seem harsh that Marion doesn't simply give Lady Bird that approval. But the truth is, they both know that this isn't the best version of Lady Bird. The truth is, Lady Bird is bratty and immature and 17. No one's the best version of themselves at 17. Truthfully, no. Marion doesn't like Lady Bird right now. But this current rough patch doesn't define them. Marion will always love Lady Bird without thinking, just as Lady Bird pays attention to Sacramento without even realizing. Their shared unconditional love isn't always an active choice, but both know it's there. The insecurity in fighting, therefore, is a result of their mutual desire for the other's approval. Often we think that familial approval goes one way, from parent to child, but this film makes clear that that yearning to be liked, that yearning for approval, it never truly goes away. While Marion's background is kept fairly vague, during one fight between the pair about Lady Bird needing to clean her room, we learn that Marion's relationship with her mother went beyond the usual bickering expected of a mother-daughter relationship.
Didn't you ever go to sleep without putting all your clothes away perfectly? Like even once? And don't you wish your mom hadn't gotten angry?
My mother was an abusive alcoholic.
Marion is trying her very best to give Lady Bird a better life than she had growing up. This same ambition to create a better life, though, unintentionally becomes an insult to Marion when Lady Bird demonstrates similar aspirations of a more fulfilling life in a new city. This, in turn, makes Marion feel inadequate, falsely assuming that if she were able to provide a better life, Lady Bird wouldn't want to leave. We know this isn't true. In the opening scene, we learn that the reason Lady Bird goes to an expensive private school is because her brother saw a lot of violence at the public school.
An immaculate heart is already a luxury.
Immaculate fart. You wanted that, not me.
Miguel saw someone knifed in front of him at Sac High.
Lady Bird specifically says, "You wanted that, not me." She doesn't care about the private school or her mother's measures of success. She just wants her own independent life.
I want to go where culture is, like
How
New
in the
York,
world did I raise such a
or at least
snob?
Connecticut or New Hampshire.
This opening scene establishes the driving forces behind Lady Bird and Marion's conflicts throughout the film. Lady Bird desires independence and a completely different life than the one she has, a common feeling for high school seniors everywhere, regardless of financial status. But Marion perceives this as a product of her inability to provide a better, more financially successful life for her family. She even calls Lady Bird a snob for wanting a different life than the one she's provided, a defense mechanism which escalates to the point of putting down Lady Bird's aspirations in a pretty harsh manner.
You should just go to City College. You know, with your work ethic, just go to City College and then to jail and then back to City College, and then maybe you'd learn to pull yourself up and not expect everybody to do everything.
Of course, this is a less than ideal way to communicate with your child, but it's also pretty absurd of Lady Bird to jump out of a car on the highway just because she's annoyed with her mom. What makes this film so refreshing and so relatable is that the characters are multifaceted. They're flawed. While we see the worst of Marion in her fights with her daughter, we also see that she works as a nurse in a psychiatric hospital, a grueling and often thankless job that people enter with the hope of making the world a better place. We see that she's thoughtful toward her coworkers, she's friendly to distant acquaintances at the store, and she even provides a home for her son's girlfriend after her parents kick her out.
Your mom is really sad you weren't here tonight for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well, she hates me.
She has a big heart, your mom. She took me in after my parents freaked out about whatever, premarital sex.
Marion isn't simply Lady Bird's mom. She's a full person, and the film studies her nearly as much as it studies its titular character, Lady Bird.
It's only $3. I'm having a hard week.
Well, if you want to read it, we can go down to the public library.
I want to read it in bed.
That's something that rich people do. We're not rich people.
Way over here, I went over the train tracks.
Oh, you took H Street.
Right, and so Lady Bird always says that she lives on the wrong side of the tracks, but I always thought that was like a metaphor.
Marion wants approval from her daughter. She wants some kind of acknowledgement of the sacrifices and work she put into making the life that Lady Bird is so quick to dismiss as boring. She clearly feels a sense of inadequacy in life. Being the ambitious woman that she is, she likely feels that she should have, or at least could have, achieved more.
We didn't think we'd be in this house for 25 years. We thought we would have moved someplace better. Whatever we give you, it's never enough. It's never enough.
It is enough.
Do you have any idea what it costs to raise you and how much you're just throwing away every day?
She projects that insecurity onto her daughter, which is why, when Lady Bird mentions becoming successful or moving away, Marion doesn't know how to respond other than by putting her down.
You give me a number for how much it costs to raise me, and I'm gonna get older and make a lot of money and write you a check for what I owe you so that I never have to speak to you again.
Well, I highly doubt that you will be able to get a job good enough to do that.
Marion sees herself in Lady Bird. She sees all of the ambition and potential that she herself once had, but was never able to fully realize. So the thought of Lady Bird actually moving away and making the life that she's always dreamed of causes resentment and insecurity within Marion. She's frustrated that she couldn't provide an even better life for her family, despite the vast improvement from her own upbringing. Most of all, she's worried that her daughter is ashamed and embarrassed of her, that she doesn't like her. After Lady Bird graduates high school, near the end of the movie, it's accidentally revealed that she's on the wait list for a college in New York City. Her father had known, but Marion had been intentionally kept in the dark.
Oh, fuck.
As we've established, Marion is very fragile. It doesn't take much to set her off. Oddly enough, instead of getting into a screaming match with Lady Bird, she refuses to speak to her at all.
Aren't you sort of proud that I'm so close to getting in? Just a little. I'm sorry. I know I can lie and not be a good person, but... Please, Mom. Please. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I appreciate everything you've done for me. I'm ungrateful, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I wanted more. Just, please, talk to me. I know I'm so bad. I know I am. But please just talk to me, Mom. Mom, please talk to me.
In this scene, Lady Bird asks for approval, very briefly, before opting to focus on apologizing, groveling, or any form of attention from her mother. But Marion gives no yelling, no fighting, just silence. It's the complete and total lack of any attention. Still, I don't think that this makes Marion heartless or completely unforgivable. She's embarrassed that she's unable to give her daughter everything she wants. She's hurt that she wasn't involved in such a crucial life decision. And she's unable to process the quick reality of her daughter moving out and leaving her. So she shuts down. While she isn't showing attention, she isn't expressing her love to her daughter, it is, of course, still there. After Lady Bird gets accepted and begins to move out of her childhood bedroom, clips of Marion writing letters and then crumpling them up begin to be sliced in. Once Lady Bird is in New York, moving into her new apartment, she finds some of the letters that Marion had written and crumpled up. On the phone, her dad tells her
she was worried that there would be errors or mistakes or something, that you'd judge her writing abilities.
I wouldn't do that.
And once again, we see that Marion yearns for approval from her daughter, just as much as Lady Bird yearns for approval from her mother. The final scene of the film sees Lady Bird waking up drunk in a hospital in New York City, completely alone in a completely unfamiliar place. She walks the unfamiliar streets and seems to realize that she misses Sacramento, something she never expected to happen. With this new sense of appreciation, she calls her mom.
Hey, Mom. Did you feel emotional the first time that you drove in Sacramento? I did, and I wanted to tell you, but we weren't really talking when it happened. All those bends I've known my whole life, and stores, and the whole thing. But I wanted to tell you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you.
This monologue, on the surface, is about Lady Bird learning to appreciate Sacramento because she interacts with it in a different way than she did before. Now, as a driver, things she's known all her life have new meanings. She pays attention in a different way than she did when she was simply a passenger. Going off to college alone, far from home, is giving her a similar new perspective on life. She's finally got that independence that she fought so hard for, but that forces her to look at things in a new, more mature way. She's able to appreciate her mom as a human being, flawed and imperfect, but trying her best, just like everyone else. No, she wasn't a perfect mother by any means, but as Lady Bird comes to realize, it's unfair to assume that mothers have everything figured out, as we daughters often do. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. This film is very personal to me as a former Lady Bird myself, so I'm really glad that I was able to make a video about moms being imperfect humans just like the rest of us. I have a whole list of other video ideas that I want to make, so please stay tuned for more analysis.